Welcome back to Endangered Species Spotlight. This week we are talking about the Tasmanian Devil. I'm sure many people have heard about Tasmanian devils, at the very least through the Looney Tunes cartoon character, but Tasmanian devils are a type of marsupial that are native to Tasmania, an island off the coast of Australia. Now, as of right now, they're pretty much only found in Tasmania. They used to be found on the mainland, but went locally extinct there. However, efforts have been made to reintroduce them into areas such as New South Wales. Tasmanian devils are carnivorous and described as being quite aggressive, especially with each other, very territorial, having a pungent smell and kind of horrifying sounding scream. Now, there are many threats to the Tasmanian devil, including things like habitat loss due to deforestation, early culling of Tasmanian devils by early settlers to Tasmania, as the settlers thought that these guys would attack and eat livestock. Now, while these guys are carnivorous and do hunt, they don't hunt large things such as sheep, mainly only smaller mammals and occasionally rodents and birds. I mean, reptiles and birds, rodents are mammals. And a large part of their diet does subsist of carrion, or already dead things. However, that did not stop early settlers to Tasmania from mass culling the Tasmanian devils. Additionally, Tasmanian devils are highly susceptible to a very specific type of cancer. This incredibly specific cancer is called devil facial tumor disease, or DFTD. As you may guess from the name, it is a type of cancer that causes tumors in the face of Tasmanian devils. And what makes this worse is that this is a transmissible and infectious cancer spread by the bite of a Tasmanian devil to another Tasmanian devil. Now, it cannot be spread to humans or other animals as far as I'm aware, but since Tasmanian devils are so aggressive, and the main part of their breeding strategy involves males fighting over the females, you can guess that bites are very common. So that makes the spread of this incredibly infectious facial cancer very easy. Now, this cancer does cause fatalities. Also, it causes these horrifying growths, which I'm not going to show here, and it is the cause of many deaths in the Tasmanian devil population. Additionally, these guys went through a couple of bottleneck events where most of the population did die out, and the remaining population is now incredibly inbred. This, combined with habitat loss and fragmentation and low genetic diversity, and also quite a lot of deaths due to being hit by cars or other factors, there is a lot going against the Tasmanian devils. But fortunately, there is also a lot of conservation efforts going for the Tasmanian devils. These guys have been protected since the 1930s after the extinction of the thylacine, or Tasmanian tiger wolf, when the government of Australia and the world in general was just kind of like, oh, we fucked up. By allowing the thylacine to go extinct, this kind of boosted public awareness of other endangered species, especially marsupials, like the Tasmanian devil, and they have been protected for quite a while. There's also a huge number of captive breeding programs in multiple zoos across the world, which also double as research into the facial tumor disease. Many areas of Tasmania are also protected, and it is illegal to harm or hunt or traffic these guys in any way. And while there is still a lot of research going into finding a cure or vaccination or treatment for the devil facial tumor disease, there is, at least now in place, a kind of culling mechanism, which on the surface does not sound great. In order to protect the population, you need to kill certain individuals. However, this helps stop or slow the transmission of this very aggressive disease. So sometimes diseased individuals need to be culled in order to keep the majority of the population healthy. And as there is no effective treatment for this disease right now, it wouldn't really be worth kind of isolating them and keeping them in captivity, because they would have quite a low quality of life as well. So culling them is the most humane option to stop the spread of disease and prevent suffering of the infected individuals. And while the population is still technically in decline, largely due to the devil facial tumor disease, which is, again, so nasty, but it is being combated by a number of different conservation and research programs, so hopefully soon we can find either vaccination, a treatment, or hopefully a cure for this disease, so the population of the Tasmanian devils can go back to increasing, and we will have them around for a while to come, because there is a lot of weird animals in Australia, but these guys are definitely some of the most unique, and honestly, they're very cute, and I am a big fan of them.